Hi everyone, welcome to the Aspire Beyond Greatness podcast, where I interview inspiring people to share their story to empower school-age kids, athletes and adults to achieve their goals and future life ambitions. Okay, so today we have Stuart Walter for the Aspire Beyond Greatness podcast, which is a podcast designed to interview inspiring people and for them to share their story and motivate school-age kids, athletes, and adults. And as they share their story, they are empowering these people to achieve their goals and go beyond their goals for further life ambitions. So Stuart Walter is Australia's number one for peak performance hypnosis. You know, not number two, but number one.
Why would you want to be number two?
Yeah. Number one. He has trained 34 world champions and he trains a ton of entrepreneurs to become very, very successful. So, yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. So,
Welcome. Right, let's do it.
Okay, yay. My first question is related to my journey started when I was 14 years old and I started to row and become a world champion. So my question to you is, what advice would you give to your 14-year-old self?
My 14-year-old self, be persistent.
Okay, want to share any more about?
No, not really.
Why?
No, it is. What I find is everyone's got a dream, but what I find is you've got to take control of that. There's too many people saying it can't be done, it's not possible, no one in our family can do it. Why do you think you're anything special? You can't do that. It's just ingrained. I don't know how and why, but that's what generally happens. I had a dream, I knew what I wanted to do, and then everything gets in the way. And you start listening to other people and listening to their beliefs, and then obviously when you're older you look back and you go, why didn't I do it? The thing is, at that time, you're not into it because you're at 14, you're being pushed through a schooling system, which may or may not work depending on how you feel. Mm-hmm. Pushing yourself into conforming into everyone else's belief, and you have to remember all this stuff. And I think you'll lose a lot of your identity at that age, between the age of 14 and 21, because every cell in our body replicates. The longest one takes 7 years. So you're looking at 7, 14. You're on a massive transformation. So sometimes you're going to be acting like a 7-year-old and sometimes you're going to be acting like a 21-year-old. Mm-hmm. So you've got a massive conflict. Yeah. And I think a lot of people lose their identity, who they are and what they want to do, and they look towards the mentors, their guides, their parents and community to go, right, this is what you need to do. The typical go get a good job, do this, do that, and you'll be right for the rest of your life. But it's proven now that it doesn't happen. Mm-hmm.
So if you have a dream, you should go after it when you're young,
absolutely.
right?
So your 14-year-old self, it's hard because at 14 you've got too many external influences. Okay, if you look at some of the greats, someone like the Richard Bransons of the world, what they went through at that younger age is just incredible. I've read a lot of his books and a lot of his podcasts and movies and things like that, the audios and videos, and he was talking about his mum at the age when he was 4. He used to stop on the highway, get him out of the car and say, right, find your own way home.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
So you look at that and go, so what has that created in him? It's adventure, it's self-belief, it's self-confidence, it's knowing you can do it yourself. Yeah. And being able to look after yourself. But there's too many people these days that are too reliant on other people. And it's quite simple. Life can go up and down and up and down and up and down. All of a sudden, boom, you go up. You wonder what happened down here. But what happened down here is when you took control. You made a decision where, right, this is where I'm going to go. And you did it for yourself, no one else. Yeah. The ups and downs before, I can guarantee, was based on other people. Other people's influences or judgment, or you thinking you're not worthy or not good enough. And I think for every 14-year-old now, if you have a, right, this is where I am, that's what I want to do. Just commit to it and do it. Yeah.
Well, and it sounds like with that example of Richard Branson, right, that it's not just, you know, this idea that, I can make it, he took the action and did it, because, like, part of it is just being scared and doing it anyway, you know. Yeah. So I think,
that's the main element, is that persistence in theory should overcome a lot of the fears. There's going to be fear in everything we do. That's the way the brain is wired. Number one role in the unconscious mind in the brain is to keep you protected. Okay, so your brain is doing what it's designed to do, which is protecting you from any potential hurt, potential harm, physically and emotionally. So there's always going to be fear there. Okay, what was it like when you first came and I started working with you? What was that fear like? To go, now I've got to step into the world Be seen, be noticed, be judged, do recordings and on camera.
Yeah, definitely. And a lot of it is just having that person that sets you accountable to being, stepping up, because a lot of people in life don't do that. You hear about, I'm not sure who said it, but there's like this idea that family and friends, they just are, they'll keep you in your comfort zone and they won't say anything. And the people that, will call you out on your shit basically are the ones that make you step up to your next level. So
yeah. And there's a lot of that, unfortunately. We kind of want to go to a higher level, but the people we're around right now can actually keep us limited. We start going up, and you'll be surprised that the people around you think are going to be supporting you are the ones that want to bang, smack you down, because they had a dream they didn't chase. So they think, how dare you, and your success is a reminder that we didn't do it, so therefore we want to pull you back down to our level. So you're going to get the judgment, you're going to get the ridicule, you're going to get the haters, but then you start getting the admiration and the respect once you break through that. But not many people go through the haters.
What do you mean? Like they don't accept that, or they just don't understand?
We love people being successful. We like successful people in sports, business, science, the arts. We love people in that respect. We just don't like people we know being successful, because then it plays on our emotions of, we could have done that as well, and we didn't. So therefore, we couldn't. So how do we bring them back down to our level? And that's within Australia, is people call it the tall poppy syndrome. We think, we want to cut these people down, but we don't. We want winners in our society, in our community. We just don't want people we know being successful, and that's the difference that we have within that system.
Put them on a pedestal instead and be like, oh, they're a whole different person. That's how they got there.
That's why I basically chased you to be on this podcast, is because it's not just achieving, as you've done, a world title, but now what? What are you going to do with that? And I think there's a lot of, even the younger 14-year-olds that just go, well, I want to achieve this in my life. You achieved it by the time of what?
18.
18, world champion. So most people struggle all their life to be the best in the world. You got there at 18. Now it's a matter of, now what? Okay, so this is going beyond that greatness. Most people aim to be at the top, but you got there early. This is where most people crash. Okay, so you've got to have, as you've got it there, is look beyond. So what is the reason? What is the benefit now by being that world champion? Now you're going into schools and talking and presentations and basically doing the same, inspiring these young kids, not just to achieve this level, but go beyond it to become better people.
Yeah, I think the coolest thing for me would be having, opening my email in 10 years and having some kid email me and just say, I was an Olympic champion swimmer, or, I was a world champion athlete because you came into the school and told me I could do it. And I thought, that's so cool. If she did it, then I can, so.
And that's a fascinating thing with what I do, because this is coming to my 12th year in professional business now. Having 34 world champions, watching the Olympics, the Commonwealth Games, 2 lots of Olympics now I've seen. And I'm sitting there just going, these are my kids. It must have been about 2 months ago. It was actually funny. I turned the TV on a Sunday thinking, I'll just chill. Turned it on, there's motor racing, Porsche Carrera Cup Series. I'm going, okay. That person who's coming first is mine. That third person is mine. And the one in 7th is mine.
That's
amazing. And I'm going, it's too much like work. So I changed channel. Watching some of the NRL, I've gone, here's mine, that's my client. I've gone, and all of a sudden I'm in work mode, and I've gone, I'm going to change it. Bull riding over in the States, not a problem. Guess what? 2 of my clients. And it's fascinating. Amazing. And I'm sitting there just going, without them. But you're right, it's those little emails you get, it's the testimonials. A testimonial from my published book, The Dear Diary Process, I got from the UK. Someone saying, you've transformed my life. I've gone, I don't even know them.
It's like, thanks.
The diary process, and it's got them out of a toxic relationship. They've broken away from that. They've changed their body, transformed their life, got a new job, got a new partner, and all that is due to that process that you've...
which is huge.
Cool, I'll take that.
It's
amazing.
Well, bringing it back, right, it's about being persistent, because that is all about every single day putting that work in to make it happen, because you don't just become a world champion or an entrepreneur or, become successful in anything by just waking up and having that. You have to go after it every day, and it, comes with a lot of
how many
steps.
Hours and years did you train?
From 14 to 18, year round, 4 hours a day. So,
4 hours a
lot.
How many days a week?
6 or maybe
24
7.
hours.
Yeah.
okay, per week, okay, to get your muscle in tune. Your brain's a muscle. What training do these kids do these days regarding training their brains?
Yeah, not much. It's not really something taught in school, is it?
No, it's not. And that's a critical thing. This is where that persistence comes in. This is where the dream comes in. This is where you're going to push, okay? Because success is not going to happen. It's not going to be given to you. You're going to have to chase it. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yeah.
To become a world champion, you have to beat a world champion. And that's that mindset you've got to have. If everything that world champion is doing, you've got to do it better.
Yeah, you don't just become the best in the world. You have to... what does that look like?
And people look at you and go, oh, you're so lucky. Don't you just want to hit them?
Like, you sort of look at them and you're like, you don't really know what it's the iceberg theory, right? Like, everything that went into it, they just see the gold medal around your neck or the race that you win and the time you get, instead of, all the other out. And, like, when you're waking up and doing all that, they're having a good time and they,
Yeah, exactly. So. I mean, to get to where you wanted to go, you had to do that. And that's where working with the mind is incredible because it can change so quickly and your body can conform and. I mean, imagine every athlete or every person in the world at that potential every time. If only we supported people, if only we chased our dreams, if only we looked after ourselves to be the best version of you for your partner, the best version of you for your family, the best version of you for these people you're going to go and see. It's up to us to become the best version of ourselves. It's almost becoming like a selfish society. We need to do that to look after ourselves because if we're not full, how can we give to these people?
And it's like this idea, right, that you work on it so much that it becomes easy because at first it's almost you're rewiring everything and then after a while it's just, it's easy to have good relationships or good health and the things you want. So, cool.
And I find a lot of even 14-year-olds these days, because I work with a lot of juniors as well, they don't have good role models. Okay, for the first 14 years, they've become reliant on parents. They become their parents. They take on all the traits based on just going, well, that's good enough for them. I'll do that myself. So every child will become one or both of their parents. But then you look at it and go, hang on, they put this trust in their parents and next thing the parents are split. So what does that do to their head? What is the state they're in? Who do they look after? Who do they model themselves off? And that's critical as well. I think every child needs someone that they can look up to, even if it's like the Richard Branson, and use them as a mentor. Use like the Oprah Winfreys and go, right, girls, that's what you want to do. Okay, find someone that's strong, stable, and start modelling their behaviours. So otherwise you're going to become one or both of your parents. Okay, I can guarantee you would have. Look back at your parents and go, there's one of those traits. Exactly. But then it's a matter of, rewriting who you choose to be and just becoming that person. It's full on.
Yeah.
And it's hard for a kid of that age. I know my son is nearly 13 now. And I see so many traits of me in him. And so many of his mum. And it's two extremes. So the poor kid, he's kind of confused. But eventually now he's kind of going, I'll take some of that and I'll take some of this. And he's becoming his own little independent person. But I'm also getting him to do a lot of, when I'm in the car with him, I'll put some podcasts on. It's going in anyway.
Hypnotizing kids at a young age, that's awesome. And I think, like you said, it's about combining the traits of the role model that you want, but then, becoming your own version of that. Because there were people that I would aspire to be who have won multiple gold medals and, done all sorts of amazing things. And, my journey is very different. So, or even for you and your family and things like that. So,
Awesome.
Okay, thanks. Next one. Okay. How did you... a few. I know. How did you decide on the career that you have?
I think it decided on me. I don't know what it is. Okay, I've only been doing this, 12 years now. Previous to this, I was in a national sales role, selling commercial glass and dishwashers, so restaurants, bars, cafe, hotels, airport systems. Designing restaurant systems. Before that, I was managing restaurants. So managing restaurants, needed a glass washer, met the person who said, I'll give you a job, state manager, then became national manager. I knew there was something else, okay? My wife at the time got pregnant, had our son, but I was travelling 2 weeks every month. So I've gone, need to do something different. That's that part of life. Another part of my life is my sport, which is martial arts, okay, in Taekwondo. So I did a lot of state national titles in Taekwondo. And what I also did was I struggled. I was inconsistent. Because of my constant travel, I wasn't at home all the time. So what I needed to do was go, okay, I need to be inconsistent in my training because it wasn't there. But my results actually showed that. So my mum is a naturopath and hypnotherapist and has been 35 plus years. And I was talking to her one day, came up to, I think, one of my gradings, the black belt grading, and explained the situation, inconsistency, and. She goes, well, what do you think I do? I went, I don't know. Typical child. So basically, yeah, sit in the chair, close your eyes, and 2 hours later I just thought, oh, God, here's your mum talking to you. What's going to happen here? How can this be? But after that, when I came up and came out, it was like, oh, my life had transformed. Wow. Yeah. That whole hypnosis experience, I went to training that night and I was 10 foot tall, bulletproof. I don't say I didn't have fear, but I was just so clear in my vision and my actions and my responses that I experienced almost like that in the zone out-of-body experience. And I've just gone, right, if I can do that and achieve what I did within my sport and use that within my business, why not combine all of them? Because it seems pretty cool to be a hypnotist.
Yeah.
So I thought, yeah, that sounds good. So I combined my sales role, my sporting role, and business, combined them all and went, right, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And even from day one of my training, in my practitioner training in hypnosis, brilliant trainer, Jim Pocock. Hi, James. Within 3 hours, I think we started about 9 o'clock, just before lunch at 12, we said, right, we're going to hypnotise each other. I went, everyone else panicked. I'm like, awesome. And I actually ended up with him. And it was just amazing because within about 2-3 minutes, I'd had him one of the deepest levels that he's been at.
Wow,
and he said, when he came back up and goes, where'd you learn that? I went, no, you taught me. He said, when? I went, well, you said if you do this and do that, and you're a hypnotist, so therefore you must do that. So use this person's model of the world. And I've just gone based on what I thought. And I've just gone, right, I can count to 10, I'll bang, it'll be the deepest level, and he's bang.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And that was it for me. It was just like a duck to water. It's just like any person in any industry. I've seen people in my industry for years and years that still struggle. But some people just do things naturally. We have some incredible results in this room, and I have no idea half the time how it happens. Okay, I know the concepts, I know the basics, I know the outcomes expected, but some of the transformations is just brilliant.
Would you say that a part of it is about how you connect with the client as well, like your ability to kind of, I feel like you're quite selective with who you want. You obviously want the best people. I mean, which is fair enough because you only have so many hours in the day.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I'm a results-driven practitioner. I don't say I don't like. I question people who want to be average. Okay, because it takes just as much energy to be average as it does to be incredible. So why not go high? Why not go big?
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Results driven, I like the entrepreneurial types, the different thinkers, people who never fit in school, people who just went, right, this is what I'm going to go transform the world. Because it's a tough gig. It's easy to be average.
Yeah. And that takes more work too, doesn't it? Right? To do that sort of stuff. You need a lot more, transformational.
But it's amazing people like yourselves that come in, and it's like you've done most of the work. You've become a world champion already. So for me, it's just picking that up and now applying it to a life situation. It's simple. So I don't know if it's me that's good, if it's the rapport I have with people, because I believe in anyone more than they believe in themselves. Okay? Which is massive.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that I've just got to get someone, believe in them, listen to them, support them and go, yeah, we can do this. And all of a sudden, they're actually changing the way they think in their brain and going for it. So, there's a natural ability to connect. There's a natural ability for me to find a root cause of any situation. I don't want to go back to the past. You've been there. I just want to go, right, that's where you're going. That's who you are. That's what's going to happen. Let's do it.
Yeah. It makes it seem so simple. But it sounds like,
It can be, but people overcomplicate it.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest things about it is that you sort of brought into it that you were skilled in all these different areas and you brought it into one. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, I'm really into hypnotherapy. I'm gonna like go after that after you sort of met with your mom and then you had an awesome training session. So yeah, no, that's really cool. Okay, so what has been your greatest lesson in life?
Oh, the crashes. Absolutely the crashes. Not the wins, the crashes. And other people as well. I've had so many opportunities and so many people want to jump on and ride this journey with you. But they want a free ride. Okay, there's too many people wanting you to do all the hard work and just go for it. Okay, and I've found that. And the hardest thing for me is the success. Okay, as weird as that sounds, the hardest thing is success because you tend to go, right, I'm good at this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. But it's all the external stuff that's thrown at you. It's other people, it's taking you off course. It's people saying, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. When you're reliant on other people, it becomes so hard.
So it's not about what you want anymore, it's about managing all these other things.
Yeah. It's about managing the externals. If you just managed yourself, it'd be so much easier. They talk about all these self-made millionaires. They're not.
It's a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even though I'm in my own business now, I've got a person in the Philippines, someone in Bangladesh, someone in New Zealand, I've got someone over in Europe.
Yeah.
They're all doing some work for me. Okay, so it's not a self-made by any means. I've got people 45, 50 hours a week. Doing websites, doing marketing stuff on social media for me, pushing products and brands, doing videos for me.
Yeah.
Okay. All I'm doing is shooting this raw footage, and when it comes out, it's going to be a beautiful intro and an outro. It's all going to be up on my YouTube channel. Everything's all awesome. I didn't do it.
Yeah, but then that takes time to build that team and have all that support. Yeah. It's like anything. Yeah.
But it's the challenges is where you really find yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
You would have found it too. It's that little bit of extra, and you go, "Whoa, where did that come from?" The amount of times that you have all these things that are just happening, you go, "Oh, finally," and then smack, it's gone again, and then something else happens, and smack. Yeah. It's that persistence. So, and that's the thing. I look at my industry, my profession, and I just think, hang on, if I'm struggling through this, I know everyone else is. Okay, and that gives me extra motivation to push through it even harder. So the hard bits are really, or the good bits are the challenges. That's where you learn. Yeah,
and managing all the different parts, it sounds like too.
Because you might be good at one thing, which I am, but then you've got the systems, you've got the processes, you've got booking people in, you've got the websites. I'm useless on computers. You got social media stuff. It's a very haphazard approach. So do what you do and find other people with incredible skill sets and bring them all in. Okay, but you've got to manage the people. I'm in a fortunate position where I can manage people. But if you've got someone who's an athlete and they've got all these other people, they're not trained in the mindset and to manage people. That's where it all falls apart.
Yeah. I think, I really like what you said about finding people that are skilled in the other areas and then using them so that you're not, trying to wrap your head around the things that, you do what you're good at and then find people.
As I said to the business I built up before, all I want to do is just turn up and talk. You guys do the rest.
Make it simple, Awesome. Okay. So this kind of follows off of what you were talking about before, but what is your greatest setback?
Separating from my ex-wife and having a son, 11 months old son. Okay, that was a great setback. Oh God, how far did we go back? My father dying when I was 24, he passed away, massive heart attack. He was also a hypnotherapist because he got involved because Mum was. So Dad passing away set me on a broad downward spiral. Then I kind of found my then wife, which kind of lifted me up a bit. Then it crashed down again. Then I was building myself up for state national titles in my martial arts again, just before Sydney 2000, did my knee, ACL, medial meniscus, snap. So that was another one because my release emotionally was through my physical action, which is, beating people up.
Yeah.
I didn't have that outlet and I was on crutches for 8 months.
Wow.
And when you're single and got a business and everything's reliant on you and you're on crutches and you can't drive, yeah, that's the struggles. Okay, so there's a lot of struggles that go through it. And you look back at it now and go, right, to get where I'm going, would you want to go through all that again? Okay, absolutely, because I know what it's going to be worth. But not many people are willing to go through this stuff to do it. So the major setbacks, my father dying, injury which ended my sports career, businesses being bought and sold, and I was merged to and from and just kind of handled like a piece of meat. And that was kind of it. So, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, I find that a lot of people that are very successful don't just have one significant event that sets them back. It usually is quite a few things. So,
and that's what I find. Average people don't become awesome. It's not possible because average people aren't willing to lose and have nothing. But when you get nothing and you're forced into that situation where you've literally got nothing, then when you start lifting up again, there's no barriers to success.
Yeah.
Okay, because you've got nothing to lose. You've only got upwards.
Something to gain.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's not many people just, like I said, go from average up. Doesn't happen. So you're going to have challenges. You're going to have to drop because it's in those challenges you find the strength. Okay,
yeah, that's fantastic
and
advice.
And generally breakthroughs happen after breakdowns.
Yeah. Yeah.
and what I find, the closer you get to success, the higher the highs, the lower the lows, and the closer they get.
Yeah.
Okay, so
balancing
you're starting off
it is like,
yeah, that's good. Bad, good, bad, good, bad. And they just get closer and closer until one day you're there and you go, oh okay.
I'm here. Awesome, yeah. Yeah, it sounds simpler than what it is. Yeah. Okay, so on the flip side, what are you most proud of, or what has been your greatest accomplishment?
I guess my clients' results are what I'm most proud of. They're the ones that kind of I sit there and go, yeah, it kind of confirms to me what I already know. Okay, any athlete, any team, anywhere in the world, I can make them better, faster, stronger than they can be by themselves. Guaranteed. I don't have an issue with that. But like you say, it's getting these emails, getting these videos, getting testimonials, getting phone calls from people where you see them pop up at the Olympics and go, whoa, that's one of mine. And you don't know their journey, but you know that you've helped them break through. Obviously, there's the typical ones, being my son, being my wife, being everything that I've got. But I've worked for it as well. Yeah. It's using the tools, it's mastering your mind, it's going for it that's allowed me to get all that. Because there's been some tough times. There's experiences that only a few people know in my life that I'm not going to share. That it literally was a life and death situation, and I chose living. How I got out of it, I have no idea. But here I am because of it. Yeah. And it's that moment I started going, right, okay, what's my mission? Got to do it. Yeah, so it was almost, it sounds like it was fuel when you were in those difficult situations to look ahead in some kind of universe and think, I will be better than what I am right now. Yeah. And I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'll just make it happen. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it was reliant on all the skills that I got as a communicator, as a salesperson, as a martial artist. Everything came together at that moment. I went, bang. And that was the difference. Okay, a split second transformed your life. And it can. Yeah, well, that's, really powerful. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so I have this idea that... I love it. I know, I love ideas. Okay, so when you wake up in the morning, when you go to social situations, when you go to work, when you go to the gym, when you go spend time with your family, wherever you are in life, you turn up with a certain set of skills and personality. So whether you're confident or genuine or positive, what do you bring when you turn up in life? Oh, that's interesting because I am so different. Okay. Care to share a bit more? It's crazy. When I'm in here in my treatment room in the clinic, when I'm working with you, I become the person I need to for you. Okay. Someone else comes in, I become a different person for them. Okay, so I'm always a chameleon, changing from one personality to another when I'm with clients. When I'm on the computer doing some work, that's different again. When I'm doing big presentations, different person again. Very driven, very motivated, very supportive, and ruthless. When I'm in family situations, I've had enough talking. I've had enough inspiring. I'm drained physically and emotionally. This takes it out of you. I can sit there at home with my wife and say absolutely nothing. In a social situation, it is weird. We go to family events and I'll be sitting in the corner just going, hi. And looking really bored, but loving it because I don't have to talk, I don't have to think, I don't have to do anything. It just kind of happens. What I find is funny is when clients, when I meet them in social situations. If I'm out of context, if I'm at the shops, I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk business. I don't want to talk sport. I don't want to talk anything else. I don't want to talk how are you going? How's everything else going? It's all good.
So you adapt to the situation.
I adapt to the situation. But it's just when that situation, when two situations or environments collide, it's weird. And that's still what I'm getting used to. Okay. I can be in front of thousands of people and do presentations and be absolutely loving it. After that, don't look at me, don't talk to me, I don't want to know you. I just want to go internal and kind of chill. But you've got to find the ability within yourself. You can't just be that hyped up person all the time. One, it annoys everyone else. You burn out. And three, you just can't. You just can't. And I find that even in social situations, if I'm talking to people want to know about my business, I talk it down. If they ask questions, I've got 5 trigger words that if people trigger, I just bring out a business card and they give me a call. Because I don't want to talk business in that type of situation. So, it's getting into that right state. And how I teach athletes and business people about getting into the right state and instantly, that's what I do as well. But like I said, it's difficult when those two states collide and you go,
Well, I think that's probably a huge part of how you've been able to be so successful in this industry because of the 34 world champions and entrepreneurs and all these other people that come in and you work with, there's probably so many different personalities and so many different things that people want. And so to be able to adapt to that, you would have to have a huge skill set because not everyone's going to come in wanting the same thing. And
exactly. So. Some people got multiple personalities, which is great.
Really?
And that's the thing, because they all come in at a certain level, but I have this ability to meet people at their expectation, their potential. I know that this person could be that good, but they're only down here. So I'm working both sets, but I'm also working at the underlying emotional issues to why this person is holding themselves back. Because I don't want you going and discovering all their stuff that's happened to bring the emotions up. Okay, so I've got the ability to be able to block it off and go, right, this is where we're going, because you don't need that stuff. So it's not just working with an individual, it's working with all their past and their family and all their emotional crap that they've ever been through. It's fun.
It sounds like...
Highly recommended.
That's what you're preaching, isn't it? So, you're able to bring a lot to the table, which is awesome. Okay, so what inspires you every day?
What inspires me? Chasing my passion, my purpose, my why. Okay, my mission is to create an awesome life full of health, happiness, love and wealth for myself, my wife and my son. By being the best in the world, not just in Australia, for peak performance hypnosis. Okay, by creating, producing and supporting incredible collection of products and programs that empower people to change the way they think, believe and behave in a way that empowers others. So everything I've done with you, which is to help you, to empower you, and now what are you doing?
Empowering others.
So that's my mission being complete. Okay, but look at what I did first. It's all about creating an awesome life for myself is number one. So I'm not here for you.
I'm glad that you're there for yourself.
So
makes
I'm
more
here for
sense.
myself because it's helping me to create my why, to get out there more, to meet more people like yourself who can then empower more people. Okay, so if I only influence 10 people and you influence 10 people and then they influence 10 people, okay, the whole planet will be covered in within about 10 steps.
It's a, I don't know what the right, snowball effect almost.
It's compounding and it's brilliant.
Well, that's a great goal to have. Okay, who has been your biggest supporter?
I would have to say my mother, initially because of the belief and I guess a bit of investment into the business to get it started. But it's become me. Okay, as hard as that sounds, you have to be your own biggest supporter. because not everyone's going to show up all the time and go, yeah, you rock. But every day you wake up and you just go, no one's going to tell me this. I've got to go out and do it for myself.
Mm-hmm.
You can do this. I don't actually have it at the moment because I've caught me early.
Yeah.
Normally carry a little image around in my pocket, which motivates me. It's on my phone, it's on the computer, it's everywhere. That just drives me.
Yeah, awesome.
Who's the biggest supporter? You have to support yourself. Because let's face it, not everyone's going to be supporting you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'll be supporting you, but I'm not there every day.
That's it, yeah.
And that's the thing. I think people become too reliant on other people to push them, to motivate them. Okay? We talk about self-esteem, self-confidence, self-belief, self-motivation. What's the common factor here is self. You've got to bring it back to yourself, and you're the self-motivator. You've got to be the self-supportive person as well.
Yeah.
Okay?
So
but it's looking after your health, it's looking after your happiness, it's looking after your mindset. So a lot of people need to slow down more to achieve more. Okay, but you have to be number one supporter.
Yeah.
Don't do it for anyone else.
That's huge advice for everyone these days, especially kids who are like scrolling through their social media thinking, what life do I want? Who do I want to be?
Yeah,
and
but all you're getting on social media is a perception of someone's life. You're not seeing that deep underlying. You're seeing the success and going, yeah, that's what I want.
But then it's about creating it for yourself, isn't it?
Oh, it's not easy. And that's what I find all these, influencers. They've achieved nothing in their life, but they're saying, look, I'm an influencer. I've got 30,000 followers. Great.
What are you doing with that? Yeah.
Name one. What have you done to them? How have you helped them? How have you supported them? Now, I've been on the ground floor here for, 12 years, and it's now time for me to step out. So you look at all these people who are just stepping up and going, oh, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Did all the work behind the scenes.
It's literally, it's like you're rowing. Okay? You won the world title. How long is your race?
6 minutes. 60 seconds or something.
6 minutes, 50 seconds. Okay, that's the success that people want. But you just said it's 24 hours a week for 4 weeks. Oh, for 4 years.
Yeah, 4 weeks, I mean, no, yeah.
So that's the thing. There is the hard work behind it to make success easy. Or look easy.
Yeah, and building a life, that's a whole other, 24 hours a day thing. But anyway. Okay, so last of all, I want to thank you for letting me interview you, and I want to acknowledge you, and I agree. I think that you're a very self-motivated and inspiring person. You've been able to change not only my life, but 34 world champions.
33 others.
Sorry. And I can't even imagine how many other people. And I think that your idea of just building up a whole life that you want rather than just like one area is huge. And I think like on a sort of more personal level, of all the hypnotherapists, counselors, psychologists, all the people and all the things that I've tried to work through for myself, and I'm sure it's probably similar for other clients. As soon as I met you, it was just completely